Have you ever felt lost, searching for a roadmap to a better life? We look for advice in so many places, from self-help books to podcasts, but what if one of the most profound guides to living well was written thousands of years ago? Today, we're diving deep into the book of Proverbs, a timeless collection of wisdom that's just as relevant now as it was then. This isn't just ancient text. It's a practical manual for navigating the complexities of our daily lives, from our work and relationships to our very character. So, grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's explore the incredible insights that Proverbs has to offer. You might be surprised by how much these ancient words can speak to your modern world. The very first thing Proverbs drills down on is the foundation of all true knowledge. It says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge." Now, fear here doesn't mean being terrified. Think of it more like a deep, profound respect and awe for a higher wisdom, for a divine order to the universe. It's about recognizing that we do and have all the answers and that there is a source of truth greater than our own limited understanding. Proverbs then immediately champions the pursuit of wisdom and understanding. It personifies wisdom as a guide, calling out in the streets, offering to pour out her spirit to anyone who will listen. The book makes it clear, a life built on wisdom isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being aligned with truth, principle, and a higher purpose. It's the starting point for everything else. A central theme that runs through the entire book is the stark contrast between two paths in life, the path of the righteous and the path of the wicked. Proverbs paints vivid pictures of both. The path of the righteous is described as a shining light that shines ever brighter unto the perfect day. It's a path of integrity, stability, and eventual flourishing. Their actions, rooted in wisdom, lead to security and honor. In contrast, the path of the wicked is described as deep darkness. They do not know what makes them stumble. This path is characterized by deceit, injustice, and short-sighted decisions. The book is incredibly direct about the consequences. It tells us that integrity guides the upright, but the crookedness of the treacherous destroys them. The righteous are delivered from trouble, while the wicked walk right into it. This isn't just about a cosmic scorecard. It's a practical observation of cause and effect. Good choices, ethical behavior, and a commitment to what's right build a solid foundation for your life. Bad choices, dishonesty, and selfishness create a life built on sand, ready to collapse at any moment. Proverbs also offers incredibly practical advice for the family unit, the very first community we ever belonged to. It repeatedly emphasizes the importance of listening to our parents. "My son, hear the instruction of your father, and do not forsake the law of your mother," it advises. This isn't about blind obedience, but about honoring the wisdom and experience of those who raised us. For parents, the guidance is equally clear. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. This speaks to the profound responsibility of guiding children, not just with rules, but with purpose, values, and a moral compass. Beyond the family, Proverbs gives a stern warning about the company we keep. It says, "Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm." It tests a simple but powerful truth. You become like the people you spend the most time with. The book urges us to choose our friends carefully, to steer clear of those who are prone to anger, violence, or those who would lead us astray. Your community shapes your character, so choose it wisely. When it comes to our work and public life, Proverbs is a masterclass in character and ethics. It champions diligence with sayings like, "The hand of the diligent will rule, while the slothful will be put to forced labor," and "Go to the ant, you sluggard, consider its ways and be wise." Laziness is seen not just as a bad habit, but as a destructive force that leads to poverty and ruin. Honesty is another cornerstone. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. This is about more than just business. It's about integrity in all our dealings. Whether you're an employee, a boss, or an entrepreneur, Proverbs calls for fairness, honesty, and hard work. And then there's the power of our words. The book is filled with warnings about gossip, slander, and reckless speech. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, it declares. It encourages us to be slow to speak, to think before we talk, and to use our words to build others up, not tear them down. In our age of social media and instant communication, this advice has never been more critical. Just as Proverbs encourages positive traits, it delivers powerful warnings against the vices that can destroy us. Pride is at the top of the list. Pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. The book teaches that true honor comes from humility, from recognizing our own limitations and valuing others. It warns against greed, reminding us that whoever is greedy for unjust gain troubles his own household. The relentless pursuit of wealth, at any cost, is seen as a trap that leads to anxiety and moral compromise. Laziness, as we've seen, is depicted as a path to poverty and want. But Proverbs also includes very specific warnings about the dangers of temptation, often personified as the immoral woman or the adulteress. This is a metaphor for any alluring temptation that promises short-term pleasure but leads to long-term devastation. It's a call for self-control, for foresight, and for staying on the path of integrity rather than being diverted by fleeting desires that can unravel a life. The message is clear: these vices are not just character flaws. They are active dangers that we must consciously guard against. Finally, after all the warnings, Proverbs concludes with one of the most beautiful and inspiring portraits in the entire Bible, the description of the virtuous wife or woman of noble character in chapter 31. This is on a restrictive checklist. It's a celebration of a capable, strong, and wise partner. This woman is described as trustworthy, hardworking, and intelligent. She is a savvy business person, managing her household, buying property, and trading goods. She is strong, dignified, and speaks with wisdom and kindness. She cares for the poor and needy and is a source of pride and security for her family. Her value, the text says, is far above rubies. This passage elevates the role of a good partner, showing them not as a subordinate, but as a powerful, co-equal force for good in the family and the community. It's a beautiful picture of what a life well lived looks like, a life of diligence, wisdom, compassion, and strength. It's the embodiment of all the principles we've discussed, a living example of wisdom in action. So, as we wrap up our journey through the book of Proverbs, we see it's so much more than a collection of old sayings. It's a holistic guide to living a life of purpose, integrity, and success. It teaches us to build our lives on the foundation of wisdom, to understand the consequences of our choices, to nurture our relationships, to work with diligence and honesty, and to guard our hearts against destructive vices. The wisdom of Proverbs isn't about a set of restrictive rules. It's about freedom. The freedom that comes from making smart choices, from building strong character, and from living in harmony with timeless truths. The path it lays out is a path to a richer, more meaningful, and more resilient life. Thank you so much for joining me today to explore this incredible book. I hope it's given you some valuable food for thought. If you found this helpful or inspiring, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one piece of wisdom from Proverbs that resonates with you the most? Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.